This year marks the 10th year of the Shakespeare by the River Festival. As a part of this celebration, Marietta College has been performing the musical adaptation of Little Women. Play director Keziah Felt and Paige Dosek, playing Jo, joins us this morning to share more. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
It's always a pleasure. So the first question that I have is, for those who may not know, could you give us a brief description of what the play is about?
Of course. So Little Women is based on the 1860s novel Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It follows the four March sisters, kind of our protagonist Jo, who is the wild and outspoken one, but all four March sisters who really transition in their lives between being little girls and then growing up to be little women, all really in the backdrop of the Civil War in Concord, Massachusetts. So we follow their adventures, yes?
Yep. Well, that sounds like, and I know Little Women is a classic novel anyway, so just to be able to perform it in something like this is just, you know, icing on top of the cake, because there's also a musical element to it too, yes?
Right, which brings, I think, really new and added life to these characters. You have these really familiar characters, but then they have this opportunity to bring a lot of emotional depth to the role through the songs and kind of lively choreography and the talent that the students bring with their vocal abilities, I think, is what's going to be really special for the audience.
And kind of speaking of bringing new breath to the roles, you play Jo in the show. So can you explain like kind of what your process was like in sort of getting into character and kind of getting to know her throughout this process?
Yeah, so I got cast as Jo before we went on to summer break. So I had the whole summer to learn all the lines, learn the songs, craft the character. And Jo is very similar character to me, like is a very good cast. The cast and the casting team did very good. She's stubborn, she's more like rough around the edges, tomboyish, doesn't like to be a lady, as they say. So it was very easy for me to craft her. She has a huge love for her sisters, like that is her main driving goal, and I have 4 siblings, so I'm one of 5, so that was easy for me to bring into it because I have a really good relationship with all of my siblings individually. So crafting the individual sibling relationships was the easiest part for me. The hardest part for me was trying to create an emotional depth for Jo and not just making her stubborn the whole play, because that's kind of boring to watch. So being vulnerable and everything on stage was the most difficult part for me.
That's amazing that you worked on those various different layers of this person, and especially since Little Women is this classic, you know, like taking this character that everybody knows and loves and kind of giving her a life and making her a full person on stage. That's awesome. So the show is, for those who would like to go to the show, would you say that it's more like, you know, it could be family oriented if you wanted to take the whole family, or is it something that's more for adults or things along those lines?
I think it's an all audience show. It's very family friendly. I think if, you know, too young, they might not follow the story as well. My 10-year-old came last weekend. She really, really enjoyed it. She was able to follow the story. So I think as young as elementary school age, kids are going to enjoy the show, and it's family friendly. So I really think it's an all audience experience.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the last question that I have is, for those who would like to go, where can they get tickets and where is it taking place?
Wonderful. Well, you actually do not need tickets to attend this performance. We are performing at the Gazebo in East Muskingum Park, which is in the 400 block of Front Street in Marietta, Ohio. So all you need to do is show up with a chair or a blanket to sit on, but there isn't a ticketing process. We have 2 more performances, Friday and Saturday, both at 8 p.m. That's the 13th and 14th. So it's really just come on down to the park and enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you both so much for being here this morning to talk about this. It's been wonderful having you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.